Today we are here for the Wednesday, August 16th, 2023 Board of Trustees meeting. Ms. Kraft, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Mrs. Faust?
Here.
Ms. Knapp?
Here.
Mr. Rennie?
Here. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do we have any public comment?
Good afternoon. I'm Jen Peggy with the Delaware Public Health District, so just wanted to provide a few updates. We right now are promoting for the month of August, it's Overdose Awareness Month. So we have, we're planning a movie series at the Strand, so every Tuesday a different movie will be shown throughout the month. And then there will be a live discussion afterwards on various topics. And all of this information I usually share with Sydney, and she'll get it out to you. We also, you may have seen from some of our press releases, we have a lot of mosquitoes that have been testing positive for West Nile. And it seems like a lot more this year because last year we only had 3 traps running, and now we're at full capacity with many more traps. So that's why you're hearing a lot more. They were probably here last year, we just weren't trapping them. So it gives us a better opportunity to get out and spray and do those types of different activities to help keep the disease at a minimum. And then the other update, I was watching one of your previous meetings that I was not able to join in. There was a discussion about recycling and what you can and cannot. So I did bring we have some brochures and magnets that you can put on your refrigerator so you know. I'll leave some of those with you. If you need more, just let me know. And then I guess the last thing would be, we're getting near to opening to the public, so we're going to do a soft opening on August 28th. So all of our services except the clinic and WIC will be running that week, and then on September 5th, right after Labor Day, all of our services will be up and running. We're going to plan an open house probably this fall, kind of work out the kinks. There's still some workers in the building finishing up some painting and some other things. So we're excited about that.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, make sure you let us know what the grand opening is.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to have you come.
That would be great.
All right.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Oh, Jen, I do have one question.
Yes.
Is it correct that there's nowhere to recycle memory foam mattresses? Have you ever heard of anything?
I don't know. I'll have to check with our coordinator and see where you might be able to do that. Let me check with Jennifer and then I can. Yeah, I'll follow up.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible in this area. I think it's more of a West Coast thing.
Oh, okay. I don't think I ever had that question before.
Michelle and I are doing a tour.
Yeah, I'll check with this.
Michelle and I are doing a tour of our Peace Recycling Facility in the beginning of September, so we can make an attempt to ask them also.
I don't think there is very much that should be able to ask.
Anybody else? Public comment?
Thank you. Trustees, it's Scott Del Castro from Trey Bell, and we
Can
are
you give us your
the
address this time, please?
address. It's 1216 Lexington Avenue in Mansfield, Ohio. So, did want to just touch base with you guys. Michelle reached out to me, just kind of coincidental. We were going to reach out to you, but at the end of the year, your existing electric program runs out in December. And so there are a number of things I'm going to hand out, do a quick handout here, if you don't mind. All right, so the first thing I wanted to cover was the electric aggregation. For all residents that listen to this podcast and are thinking about aggregation, or the rates with the utility recently have gone up tremendously. They're up over 11 cents a kilowatt hour. Trey Bell, on your last electric program, ended the program in a good, with over $100,000 in savings to the community. In an unprecedented time, we made some good decisions on our rate that in the current program, which is a 4.77 cents a kilowatt hour, it's incredibly low. And we, when we last did this, we made some decisions and made recommendations to extend your program into December. That ended up proving to be quite beneficial to your residents. If you take, and for those people, I'm just going to talk this through real quick. If you take this savings analysis and flip it over, you'll see a negative number. And that negative number represents the difference between the utilities rate and the rate that we have negotiated for on behalf of the citizens of Orange Township. That number is negative $3,747,733. That's the money that we have saved residents collectively and have put back into this community. And so I'm quite excited about that. I think that's the largest savings that we've ever done in any community, in part because Orange is over 10,000 households. So we should be extremely proud that was done and structured the way it was and completed. Which then brings me, Traybell also has done this past spring when rates did come down substantially. We had a lot of programs come due in the springtime. We did over 160 different combined electric and natural gas renewals in 90 days. It was unheard of. And through that process, we also thought, we need to start streamlining the way we do business with the communities. And we've restructured our agreement, just a couple adjustments within it, that gives us some authority to be able to sign some, what I call documents that are administrative, like eligible customer list, the biannual certification that needs renewed every 2 years. And we've put in there language that allows us to be able to sign that and have a notary in our office stamp it and move it forward. It just cuts down on the timing. We can be more quick on our feet. And the other provision that we've added to our agreement is the ability for, with your approval, within some constraints, we can get a program set up that we can, if you guys approve it, we can sign, Traybell can sign the actual MSAs on your behalf, okay? And that also streamlines the process of getting rates, presenting them to this board and your staff, and getting to an agreement quickly. And obviously, more than happy to send that to you guys. You can have your council review it, and provide some feedback that you might think is important. So that's been helpful in moving our programs and processes along. The other thing that, just real quickly, is been useful, we've got our web portal that we've been working on for years, and we've got a lot of new things that will help your staff that, with answering citizens' questions about programs. Am I in, am I out? What does it look like? This portal will be helpful for all of you. And I think each one of you here internally can look at it. The last and final thing I got here is just talking about rates. I've already mentioned to you that December your electric program ends and we need to address it. I think we should address it sooner than later. If you look at this in the last couple months, it went from April, this is natural gas per CCF at 19 cents, and we've seen the market been relatively flat since then, but it is increasing just ever so slightly. I would rather we try to move forward with getting some pricing soon and having that presented to the board to get the renewal set up for the end of November, the end of December. So it's not like we can wait till December, we can't wait till November, because there's PUCO rules and processes that we have to follow. And so we're gonna need to, be on top of it and not have it be rushed, etc. I think we just set, Traybell just did the city of Lima, and that was one of the lowest rates in the market. I think we ended up with a 628 rate. which was fantastic. And the only final thing I just wanted to put in your ear is we've been getting all of our programs set up with fossil fuels as we've done in the past. You guys have indicated that it's important to you to do clean energy. And so we know that we've seen more and more people move towards clean energy, and we just wanted to get it in your ear. Do you want to we have a way to do that. We can either go full clean energy as the primary product or a secondary product. So you can have fossil fuel and then an option to go to clean energy. People can call in, or you can flip it around and go clean energy is your primary product with people able to opt down to fossil fuel. It's your, whatever you think is right for your residents, just let me know. Any questions?
Could you email Michelle like all this information and email us and Michelle all this information so we've got it?
Yeah, so she had requested the electric agreement, Traybell's agreement, my old agreement. I have to get her the new agreement so she can, you guys can compare and contrast. And yeah, I'll highlight what's been changed. So
I know that we're in the process of working, figuring out who the best providers for the residents and that kind of stuff. So your timing is perfect. So
yeah, there's been a lot of
Yeah.
changes too in the energy industry. So suppliers are buying out other suppliers. Some are for sale. There's a lot of back stuff we need to get through.
Gotcha.
All right.
So, yeah.
And Scott, what is the current rate that we offer application for our gas and electric for the?
It's 477 for the electric. I don't know offhand where we're at with the gas. I didn't come here to just talk about
Is it
gas.
gas and add-on, isn't it a NYMEX Plus?
It's probably a variable rate because we knew the rates were coming down.
Yeah, I got this,
Yeah.
If I remember, we did a 2% off, I think,
Mhm.
of the utilities rate so that it's guaranteed savings. But we have the option to switch it into a fixed rate. And as we're sitting here at the lows, we might want to execute that trigger.
When does that agreement end? The gas, when is it? When
I
should
think
it-
it's
this
March of
summer?
24, but I have to go back and look. I think it's March of 20, yeah.
Because since.
May, that's
it
right,
is-
May
it
of
is-
20.
It is low right now, right, correct? So maybe,
No, we're in a good spot because it's following the market. And the market, as I showed you with that piece of paper, it's really low.
Can we lock in
We
gas
can.
supplies?
Yeah.
We can trigger, and we can trigger and extend if you need to. So there's reasons for it. We'll do that today. I was trying to keep this to 5
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah,
but
sure.
look, we can talk about it,
Okay.
and there might be some reasons why we want to trigger a little longer.
yeah, it seems like August or September, it starts going back up, the gas prices typically. Right, it's hard to tell, but it just. that's
Last
how it
year,
usually
last
works.
September was the highest price. You guys see on there, it says 24 cents.
Yeah.
Last September was 96 cents. Well, can someone read that? It's last September of 22?
91.
91 cents. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it
So we
was,
might want to look at that.
it was a crazy time in the energy world.
Because I want to make sure if there's something we could lock in, that we get it done quickly, if that's the thing to do, so.
No worries, thank you.
All right,
All
Thanks,
right.
Scott.
Good seeing everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, anybody else?
Don't take your mic, I don't think. There's.
Probably don't need it.
Okay.
I'm a loudmouth on man. My name is Jim Srigliano. I live at 8480 Stonewoods Lane. And my wife and I moved to Orange Township in 2016. And shortly after, I got onto the Orange Township website and I signed up for meetings. And, I'm sorry, what? Oh, you're Vicky. Hi.
Hi. I'm sorry.
I get them every month, and the one thing that struck me was the trustee meeting agenda was not very helpful. Didn't know what was going to be discussed, or what our financial positions are, things like that. So I wrote to Michelle and I said, Michelle, it would be kind of helpful if I knew what the which zoning applications were being discussed, and I'd like to see a link to the financials. And lo and behold, okay, an email from Vicki going, we took your suggestion and here we go. And this new agenda, I gotta tell you, is top notch. It tells me,
Okay.
very good. And did you get all these links into this? Wonderful. And I could go in and I go, oh yeah, hey, look at this, hey, look at that. And I really wouldn't be at this meeting if it wasn't to come and say, thank you to the board, thank you to the staff and Vicki, and say, good job. There you go.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you putting it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much for all your work with that and getting it so we've had a couple residents ask for easy clicking links. So we thank you for the work that you guys have done. Okay. Any other announcements?
I'll just throw out an announcement that Trustee House and I attended the staff convocation and partner expo for the Montana Local School District this morning. It was very well attended. It's good to see a lot of teachers and staff excited for the new school year. And just want to wish all of our students in the township an enjoyable start to their school year.
Thank you. Thank you for our staff for putting together our photo boards and taking some time out of your mornings to come and be with us. So it was great to interact with a couple of different, teachers and principals and administration and that kind of stuff. Chat with a bunch of. Lisa was there, Mike was there, Robin was there, Chief and Silas were there, Cindy was there. That's the crew. Mike and I, so it was great. So thank you everybody for doing that. We appreciate it. Okay. Any agenda changes? No? Okay, cool. All right. Do we have any questions on the consent agenda? All right. Hearing none, I make a motion to approve Resolution 23-225, approving the electronic record of the proceedings from the regular trustee meeting on August 2nd, 2023, and a motion to approve Resolution 23-226, approving purchase orders, then and now purchase orders, and blanket purchase orders as listed. Second.
Mr. Ringgold?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp? Yes. Mrs. Faust?
Yes. Okay, Robin, our report.
Good afternoon, trustees. I believe the zoning hearings and meetings report is actually unchanged from our previous trustee meeting, but to remind you all again, we will have a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting this Thursday, August 17th, here in this room at 6 p.m. There are 3 applications on that agenda. One is a conditional use for residential dwelling above a commercial business at 1550 Lewis Center Road. One is an area variance for a deck and patio to encroach into the rear yard setback on Fargo Lane. And then one is a reworked signage application for variances for the new Popeyes located at 9037 Owen Field Drive. Beyond that, we have our 2 tabled applications, the RCOD application on Parkway, and then the conditional use application with the Board of Zoning Appeals for the proposed place of worship on Vale Canyon Road.
Okay. And I was getting my boys' haircuts at so the location with the conditional use is in Lewis Center Village, where Wix is, and Lewis Center Barbershop and that kind of stuff. And so I got to chat with the barbers underneath and, learned a little bit about what they're, putting it above, and they were good with it, as they indicated in the application. So, yeah. Interested to hear how that pans out. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Operations report.
Good afternoon, board. The first 2 items in the operations report tonight we kind of merged together here. They both relate to the Green Meadows Drive Trail Connection Project. The first resolution is for approving the design and proceeding with advertising. Approving the estimate from the county engineer's office. The county engineers are going to help us loosely with this project as far as bidding and oversight of the project goes. Along with that, there's a resolution before you to approve an easement with Franklin Real Estate, which is the AEP property that will be adjacent to the trail project. It's a temporary construction easement to allow us to properly address anything on the property that we happen to get into with the project. And then the last thing we had is a long-awaited approval for the Veterans Memorial Project. This bidding, we had one bidder that was within range for the project, and we're excited to bring that forward to the community. And construction, pending approval, construction will begin, I think the 28th, so in a month here. So we'll be able to get moving on that here and build some nice memorial for the community.
Excited about that. The Green Meadow Trail is from Green Meadows at the intersection home in Green Meadow, is that correct?
No, it'll be north of Orange Point, but south of home. There's a gap in the trail there on the AP.
Oh, it's where right now the trail turns
Correct.
west, and so we're just connecting that.
Correct. Generally, there would be we would probably wait for commercial development to come in and build that section trail for us, but there's no scheduled work in that area. It's AP's property, so we're just going to go ahead and get that connection done, so that way the trail will be done in advance of the Green Meadows Drive connection later on, maybe early 24. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Where's that one at, did you say?
North of Orange Point, Green Meadows Drive.
So right now, Orange Point is where like Super Kicks and, well, it's not Super Kicks anymore, it's called something else. That kind of just, right now it turns and goes behind all those buildings, and so this is, and then like crosses in front of where like one is, so this is just a longer place. Yeah, that'd be great. And the Veterans Board, we're super excited about that. Are we allowed to announce that? Let's approve it first, and then we can announce it. Yeah. The Veterans Board. Yay, we're excited. Yes, we're excited. Okay, so let's go ahead and do resolutions now. We can check. All right, I make a motion to approve resolution 23-227, approval of design and authorizing the Delaware County engineers to proceed with advertising the bid for Del Trail 409-2.04 Green Meadows Drive shared use path and approving the engineer's construction cost estimate.
Second?
Mr. Ringgold?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes.
Mrs. Faust?
Yes. I make a motion to approve resolution 23-228, approving an easement agreement with the Franklin Real Estate Company.
Second.
Mr. Ringgold?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes.
Mrs. Faust?
Yes. Okay, I make a motion to approve resolution 23-229, authorizing the Director of Operations to accept the bid submitted by Stronghold Construction for their Veterans Memorial Project and authorization to proceed with issuance of a purchase order.
Second?
Mr. Ringgold?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes.
Mrs. Faust?
Yes. And so we just found out about, the bid opening was just the beginning of last week, and so we were, they let us know that we're going to be able to do our groundbreaking next Wednesday, August 23rd. It's at 3 p.m. It'll be a smaller ceremony just because we only had 10-ish days to plan it, maybe 2 weeks. But there'll be a large grand opening event that will be on Memorial Day when the project is complete. So this will be fun. And then, like you said, groundbreaking on the 23rd. They'll start on Monday the 28th, and
Should be done by tomorrow.
so we'll have a lovely Veterans Memorial. So we're really excited for that. We're grateful for all the work our Veterans Committee, or what's your title? It's not Veterans Committee.
Yeah, with the Veterans Memorial Committee.
Okay.
We are.
Yeah. That committee's done to get us, we had to do some, material selections and that kind of stuff, and all the hours and time that everybody has put in. So we are just very excited to be able to do this for the community. This is something that was designed probably a decade ago. Rob Quigley was involved with it and has been still. And so yeah, we are excited about all of this. Okay, Chief, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. All right, fiscal.
Okay, a couple things. We just have a consensus item for a liquor license, whether or not you want to hold a hearing for, it's Mormax Beverages, corporation doing business as BJ's Wholesale Club.
I do not need to hold this.
Anybody need a hearing on that?
No.
Okay, thank you guys. And then next is July financials. So our ending cash position as of July 31st was $25,989,267.10, which includes investments of $11 million with Fifth Third and $12.5 million with Star Ohio. Our fund or department cash balance, our generals are $8.1 million, roads is at $3 million, fire at $5.9 million, and parks at $3.9 million. Our expenses through July 31st are $11.1 million, and our revenue is $10.4 million. So I'm expecting the second half tax payment probably in the next 5 business days. So that'll help bump up our revenue numbers there. Our Delaware County Foundation balance as of June 30th, I know that says July 31st, but that's off a little bit. We just got the second quarter statements yesterday or Friday. And our Veterans Memorial balance is $94,266.49. And as of June 30th, our community fund was $986.57. There were some credit card fees and things like that that needed to be backed out. So that's what I got. Any questions?
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so we could have a consensus to not hold a hearing. Okay, all right. Mr. Kravitzer.
So we have three things for the administration report. First is which recognize August birthdays and staff anniversaries. So we'll start with the birthdays. We have Robert Hager was the first, Ryan Spires the second, Kenneth Brooks was on the third, Aaron James on the 6th, David Smith on the 8th, Bill Worley on the 11th, Chief McNeil on the 12th, David Martin the 15th, Jared Reese the 22nd, and Stephen Baker. So happy birthday to all those folks. And then for employee anniversaries, we have Jeffrey Chevalia, 1 year on the 24th, Alex Rosansky, 2 years on the 25th. We have Nicholas Ronzetti, 5 years on the 15th, Catherine Townsley, 7 years on the 15th, Craig Collins, 9 years on the 6th, Douglas Stewart, 18 years on the 18th, Kenneth Brooks, 19 years on the 30th, Nathan Buskirk, 19 years on the 30th, Donald Jacob, 19 years on the 30th, Donnie Pettis, 19 years on the 30th, Donald Zavarsky, 19 years on the 30th, and Paul Cates, 23 years on the 9th. So thank you for your service, dedication, and commitment to the residents of Orange Township.
Seems that August 30th was a big hiring.
We had a few hiring on that day. Yeah. Second, we have the Section 125, so hopefully you had an opportunity to review a little bit of the Section 125 and the RAP document. So basically, it allows employees to pay certain benefit premiums on a pre-tax basis. And that RAP document then just provides the guidance in how and when you can do that. And then we have the Orange Township JED as our third item. And I don't know if Julie from the council wants to frame that for us.
Sure, happy to. I think that the board is probably pretty familiar with the JED, but I know that the township staff has been working closely with property owners through the zoning process, been working with the city of Worthington, and we're finally at a point to move forward with the adoption of the JED contract, which is what you're being asked to approve today. What that will do is it will create the Joint Economic Development District. It will permit the township partnering with the city of Worthington to levy an income tax on the properties that are initially part of this JED. And the goal being that as time goes on, the township will continue to add properties and that type of thing. So that way it'll be expanded as development comes down the line. So I want to congratulate again the board and staff and City of Worthington. I know they've been a really good partner through this process. So that's what's before you today.
With respect to the JED, have we had any discussions about potential appointments to the board once it's full?
So Trustee Ringgold, that has not been discussed yet, but he brings up an excellent point that the next step, so first of all, it's my understanding that Worthington will move on the contract in early September. Once that happens, the township and city will have to make appointments to the JED board. And that will be that'll be the next phase of creation, getting the JED board up and running. The contract does spell out that there are some specific points, specific seats need to be held by certain individuals. One needs to be held by a township representative, a city representative, a person who represents the businesses in the JED, a person who represents the persons working in the JED, and then a fifth person will be appointed by those four people. So I know that Orange has another JED, that the Evans Farm JED. Frequently when townships have multiple JEDs, our advice is don't reinvent the wheel. The people you've appointed, if it makes sense to appoint the people to the same JED, might as well. Don't reinvent the wheel. So, but
Trustee Ringwald, you're exactly right, that would be the next phase. And I don't believe that that's formally been discussed yet.
And the JED is something that we've been working on for over a year now. It was started by our former trustee, Ben Rumbles, and so it's been a real collaborative effort with the staff in Worthington and with our legal counsel, and so thank you guys for everybody who's helped along with that process. We appreciate that. And we're excited to be able to bring additional revenue to the township that we can use for the things that we have to spend money on.
I'll just echo that we're excited for the partnership with the City of Worthington.
Okay, and then we'll go through these. I've gotten to know that we have to amend a previous resolution real quick, but we will do these first. Okay, are there any questions on any of the administrative?
I have none.
Okay, cool. All right.
Trustee Fowles, do you mind if I make one comment, just so that way? Mike, the resolution, the draft resolution that we prepared, does it include, with the placeholder built in for who's authorized to sign?
For the RAP document, it does.
Okay, for the RAP and 120, and
No, I'm sorry. It points Mike to do it.
okay. And the resolution for the 125 as well?
Let me see if he's listed.
I think so.
Yes.
So I'm going to just read the title stuff. Yep. All right, we're on 230, is that right?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve resolution 23-230, approving and adopting the section 125 premium only plan.
Second.
Mr. Ringwald?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp? Yes. Mrs. Faust?
Yes. I make a motion to approve resolution 23-231, approving and adopting an amended and restated RAP plan.
Second. Mr. Ringwald?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp? Yes. Mrs. Faust?
Yes. Make a motion to approve resolution 23-232, approving and authorizing the execution and delivery of a joint economic development district contract by and between the City of Worthington, Ohio and Orange Township, Delaware County, Ohio.
Second.
Mr. Ringwald?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp? Yes. Mrs. Faust?
Yes. Okay, Silas, you said we needed to do something.
Yeah, it's similar to the other two resolutions that Joy brought up. On resolution 23-228, we do need to appoint a representative on behalf of the township. Generally speaking with legal, the chair will be file representation to fill the blank there.
Do I have to say anything different?
No.
Okay. All right. So I can be the representative.
Just as long as the record has your name filled in, and then the board can make the motion again.
Okay. So make the motion for just 228 again? Okay. I make a motion to approve resolution 23-228, approving an easement agreement with Franklin Real Estate Company.
Second.
Mr. Ringwald?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes.
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
And you said, Mrs. Faust, you said you were going to execute it?
Yes.
Thank you.